This is coming off the back of what I've heard a lot of the guys talk about at the Alpha Reset. They hear so often from, mainly, it's from their wife. They get told to just be a man. Why can't you just be a man? Be a man, be a man. And they're like, well, what the hell does that mean? I don't know what she means when she says that.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Powerful Man Show. I am your host, Doug Holt, with my co-host, Tim, the Powerful Man Matthews. Tim, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, I'm great. Very well indeed. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, man. I'm doing awesome. We just, as most people know, we record 3 of these in one go, unusual. It depends on our schedules, of course. But I really liked our conversation with the last show that we did. It's always fun to get those out there. And I just kind of always picture, Tim, I picture that one guy listening and getting the insight that really helps him live his ideal life, really gets him out of the weeds and helps him move forward.
Me too.
I think we did that.
Yeah, for sure. I think we did.
Awesome. So, Tim, you had a topic that you wanted to bring to the table today.
Yeah, so this is coming off the back of what I've heard a lot of the guys talk about at the Alpha Reset. And, they hear so often from people around them, whether it's from their wife or, mainly it's from their wife. They get told to just be a man. Why can't you just be a man? Be a man, be a man. And they're like, well, what the hell does that mean? Like, be a man? Well, I don't know what she means when she says that. And, I think the look on their face is, part of it is embarrassment because they don't want to admit that I actually don't know what that means to the woman in their life. And I think part of it is obviously frustration because, we get told, in so many different avenues and walks of life to grow up and be a man and man up and all those things. And it's created such a divide within society as well, because a lot of that has then been what has fueled men, pushing down their emotions and, fueling the suicide epidemic. So we now know that's not working for us. But then what's the other option? Does that mean the other option is that I go out there and I cry at every opportunity? Do I, what does it mean? What does it mean? So I want to dive into this because I think this is something that I used to struggle with quite a lot. And I used to secretly struggle with this because I used to act like I had it all together, growing the business and the success we were having and the other things that were going with it, my lifestyle, the house and the wedding that we'd booked and all the rest of it. But, behind the scenes, I just felt broken, quite honestly, and empty. And this concept of stepping up and manning up, and it was really lost on me. So I'd love to hear your take on this. And there's a few things that I want to feed into this conversation as well, but, I never know where these are going to go. So we'll see if that's relevant once you start, sharing here. But yeah, take it away. I'd love to see your thoughts.
Well, yeah, I think, a lot of these guys, it's in the moment of frustration, right? So the person that's calling them out is frustrated and they're asking them like, step up and be a man. And I think what they're really saying is, in that sentence, in that claim is, look, you're not being the man you can be, right? I see the man within you and you're not being that man. And it changes for everybody on what that looks like and of course roles and what have you. And oftentimes when this conversation happens, we hear it's when the man has lost his way, right? We go through, talk about the hero's journey. Alison Armstrong's got some great books on, the journey of men, going from the different stages. And for a lot of guys, let's just be honest, a lot of guys, if you really are being honest with yourself, gentlemen, you are pretending to be a man because you don't know what it means. You haven't defined what being a man, let alone a powerful man, means to you. And it's not your fault, right? The society has tried to label it through action movies, and that's about all you get, right? But you also know those are fake. So what does that look like? There aren't many role models, and chances are your parents, your father, maybe your grandfather didn't have the opportunity to really teach you. They were working, they weren't around. And so you went through life, your teenage years, the metamorphosis that happens around between 18 and 23. And then you came out the other end going, crap, now what? And you started hustling, pretending, resorting to hustling with work, alcohol, drugs, women, porn, all these other distractions, video games that you can get into, and not focused on really your own true potential. And I know, talking to women, my wife coaches women, that's her specialty. So I always get to hear, what these women are complaining about with their men. And oftentimes their biggest complaint is, look, they love you. They see you for who you are, just like you could see your best friend for who they really are. They also know your potential. And if you're not living up to it, you're letting them down, other people down. And odds are, when you're not being that guy, you become an asshole. You just do. You're not happy with yourself. You're not happy with your outcomes. You're not happy with your life, and no one around you is happy either. You're not fun to be around. You're not good to be around. You're not. And what's happened, gentlemen, is you haven't taken the time to clearly define what it is to be a man. And what does it mean to be a powerful man? Very distinct difference there. Very distinct. Being a man is a great step, and I would say most men never attain that. Being a powerful man is a whole nother level, right? It's a whole nother level to go through. And so, Tim, that's what I think is the first part here, is really recognizing, where are you now? Are you pretending, or are you really playing?
Yeah, I love it. I think, to echo what you're saying there, when the men get faced with this by the people they love, yeah, I definitely agree that part of it is to see the potential there. And I think also a big problem is that they want to be led. The women want to be led. And they want to be led, well, part of being led, rather, comes from feeling secure in the person that's leading you, right? What forms part of a great leader? Part of it is vision, isn't it? It's having a vision, seeing something, and then being able to really enroll people into the vision and having such certainty and confidence around the vision that people are willing to follow you. And not only that, it's also really walking that path as well, so that your actions speak louder than your words. And I think often, two questions that the men, when I speak with the men when they're coming into the program, the two questions that they cannot answer, and they want to be able to answer, but they're just a search and they're lost. That is, who am I and what do I want? Mm-hmm. And obviously, where they don't know who they are and they don't know what they want, of course, there's then no vision, is there? So bringing that back to the leadership from the woman wants to be led by a man who knows where he is going. And if you then are drifting because you've gone after money, thinking that being a man meant you've got to make money. Being a man meant that you've got to tolerate pain. Being a man means that you've got to work long hours and sacrifice and hustle and grind. That's in my opinion, in our opinion, in our world, that is not what it means to be a man, especially not a powerful man. You can play in that realm from time to time, but that's not what it means to be a man at all. And I think first and foremost, the way in which the women in our lives want to be led is emotionally as well. A big part of it is being led emotionally and feeling that the man is there. So often we hear at the Alpha Resets that the happiest times in the relationship have been when they've had nothing. Yet for the man, that's probably when he felt most like a failure, right? Because he's not providing financially or, in a materialistic manner, because he believes that he must have those things to be a man and provide. Yet for the woman, he's providing his energy, he's providing his time, he's providing his attention, he's providing his strength. And it's in providing that she then feels safe and secure with him, because he is being a man in that moment.
Hey, sorry to interrupt the show, but I wanted to ask you a question. Do you ever feel like something's just missing? Like there's something more out there and you just can't put your finger on it? I totally get it. Go over right now to thepowerfulman.com/freedom to discover the system that other businessmen just like you are using. We've included 10 case studies, 10 men just like you who have found the solution and have found their way on their path. And we want to share that with you. Go over to thepowerfulman.com/freedom right away. Now let's get back to the show.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that we'd say in relationship coaching, the woman really wants the man to be strong and solid in his foundation so she can melt into him. She needs to know for sure that when she falls, because she is going to fall, and all her craziness comes out, that he will be there to pick her up. She needs to have that trust. And if she doesn't, she's going to rely on her father. And if her father's not around and her partner can't do it, she's going to rely on somebody else because that's what she needs. And as men, if you aren't being the man, right, you're not stepping to the line, you're not being a powerful man, you're not able to do that. And chances are you're hiding out. Now, you may not like me saying that, but you're probably hiding out in business. You're probably hiding out in other areas of your life where you feel successful rather than facing those dark areas, those areas inside of your mind, your soul that you know are there but don't want to talk about, don't want anybody else to see because you're too afraid to step into those areas. And if what I say or what Tim says upsets you, it's just a quick coaching thing. If it upsets you in any way, shape, or form, what we're saying, even if you just disagree, but it upsets you, then deep down you know it's true. And that's even more of a call out for you as the individual. I'm talking to one of you specifically. Yes, you. Exactly. The time for you to step up and be a man. What is a man? Well, you got to define it yourself to some degree. Now, at The Powerful Man, we have a definition of what a powerful man is, who it is, but it's very individualistic, right? A powerful man protects his pack. He stands for what he believes in, and he fills his own cup, right? He actually takes care of himself so that he can take care of his pack. He is the alpha, not the beat your arms on your chest alpha, but he is the alpha of his family, the alpha of his business, the alpha of his community, leading by example and leading a fulfilled life. There's too many people out there, guys, pretending. There's too many men out there living crappy lives because they think they should. They're working a job that they don't like. They're in a relationship that's unfulfilling, and they're not living after their dreams. They probably even stopped dreaming. The world doesn't need more people like that. Those are boys. I don't care how old you are. You can be an 80-year-old boy. We all know these people, right? You can also be a really young man and have stepped up and stepped into it. And part of that has to do with getting optics. We always talk about that. You have to know where you are. And oftentimes, more often than not, it really helps to have somebody else help you get that. The second thing is once you know where you are, you need to know where you're going, right? In The Powerful Man, we talk about one destination, two paths. Same destination, there's two paths to try to get there. And I use the word try deliberately here, right? One path is the way that most people go and hustling, and you keep reaching to a certain level and you collapse, you fall down, and then you build yourself back up, and then you collapse, and then, okay, I got this this time. And you build yourself up. That's the path of a boy, maybe an ordinary man. The other path, the path of the powerful man, is much more deliberate, much more around ease and flow. It doesn't mean you don't work hard, because you certainly do, but it's a much more directed and guided path. And that's what women mean when they say, be the man, step up. I wish you could just be a man in this relationship, or I wish you could just step up and take care of things, or whatever version that they're telling you or they're saying to you, whether they're saying it out loud or they're saying it with their actions, or you can just feel it. That's what they're asking you to do. They're saying, hey, look, I need you to be strong enough. I need you to be strong enough to get help. I need you to be strong enough to step up for our family. I need you to face your demons. I need you to be strong enough for us. That's what they're saying.
For sure. I think we're really hitting the nail on the head here when we're talking about being able to lead yourself, knowing what you want and who you are. I mean, without that, That's the foundation, right? I mean, if you've never actually defined what it is that you want. I mean, I was speaking to a business owner yesterday, and, he has a successful retail business, and, he's also got a property portfolio, and his exact words are, I just don't know why I'm doing this. I thought that, I needed to make money, and yeah, I've got money, but it just doesn't mean anything. I don't understand why I'm doing this. I don't understand, what I want anymore. And he was searching for the words, because it was a reflection of him searching in his life. And in that position of not knowing what it is that you desire, you're not going to be able to lead. You're just not. Or if you do lead, you're going to be leading from a place of false leadership, because you'll be leading people leading your family rather, pretending like you know where you're going, but in reality, you don't actually have a vision. You don't actually have a vision for your family or for yourself. So they're following you, but they're following you quite blind. And sometimes we have it where the men actually lead the families down quite a dark path. And when I say a dark path, a path whereby the man becomes an absent father, and although he's there, he's not there, and he becomes angry and starts to cycle through the 5 agonies because he's lost in no man's land. And, it's not about experiencing the 5 agonies and no man's land, and, you shouldn't be there, because the reality is most men are there. Most achievers are there anyway. Some guys aren't there because they're just happy to settle with what they've got, and that's cool. Nothing wrong with that, right? But I know you and I, Doug, and we've been in the 5 agonies. It's like the curse of the achiever. It's part of the growth plan that they will go through, that we all go through. So it's not about, not experiencing them. It's about realizing you're there and actually asking for help. Like this man I spoke with yesterday, he's losing meaning and focus in his life, and he's realizing the effect that's having on his family. He's then turned to drugs and turned to other things to try and get some kind of meaning and structure in his life. But it's just not working. So, in terms of being a man, for sure, everyone gets to put their own meaning on it. For us, like you were saying, Doug, we provide a framework for the men in which they can paint their own picture. But the overriding vision of that, fills them with a set of virtues and values that will help them navigate their path and navigate to a particular place. And in order to be a man, I think part of it as well, you've got to surround yourself with other men that are also on that path. It's like the village elders, right? When you in a lot of tribes, you knew you were a man back then because at a certain point in your age, 15, 16, you would go through a rite of passage, during which you may have to go and spend 4 days out on your own and kill something with your bare hands and eat and forage and, do all the other things and maybe some other challenges. After which you then have graduated and proved that you're a man. You can stand on your own 2 feet. You can provide. You can control yourself. And, what that then means in the tribe is that you will then step into a certain position within the tribe, within the community, where certain things will be expected of you, and you then get given a new identity, if you will. And that's what's lost. We used to believe that being a man meant going to work. Men go to work, women stay at home. That was the tale through the 50s. I don't know about the 60s, but 40s, 50s. Men go to work, women stay at home. And, we are now moving out of that because it's been the rise of, the past 10, 20 years. Women have really risen, which has been a great thing. But men have been left behind. And as a result of an outdated model of what it means to be a man, men are now lost, not knowing how to handle it, which has led to the suicide. You've got to really redefine it. You cannot ignore this. And there's nothing wrong with it if you don't know what it means to you. It doesn't mean that you're less of a man. It doesn't mean that you're weak or a failure. It doesn't mean any of those things. You've just more than likely fallen for the fallacy that society tells you that, to be a man, just go and make the money. You've done that and it's not working for you. So it's time to reevaluate and redefine what it actually does mean to you so that you are showing up in alignment with it. With the men in the program, for us, part of what we do for them is gamify it so they can see every week, every day, how they are winning. You've got to know where you're winning. If you don't know how to win the game, and the crazy thing about this is you set the rules of the game. We all set the rules of the game, but if you don't know how to set the rules of the game and you're not even focusing on whether you're winning or not, how can you actually build your confidence and your self-image? You just can't. So take action on this, guys. If this, like Doug said, if this is calling to you, if he, called you out and you got triggered and, you're really looking at yourself, pay attention to this. Because without having this piece, this is a foundational piece to everything you do in your life. It's an absolute foundational piece. Your business is a reflection of you. Your marriage is a reflection of you. Your body is a reflection of you. Your finances are a reflection of you. So you don't need to look very far to get some symptoms of how you are showing up. You've got to address this.
Beautifully said. So, gentlemen, if you find yourself in this situation, and I'm guessing you do, this is your call out. This is your time. What is a man? Be the man. What does it mean to be a powerful man? Does a powerful man actually too afraid to admit that they don't know? No, absolutely not. Is a powerful man afraid to ask for help? No, absolutely not. All right, this is your chance to step up. Get rid of preconceived notions and live your best life today. This is your chance. You don't have a back pocket life. This is your chance. There's no reset button in your life. There's no do-over. Let's go back 10 years and start again. This is your time in this moment. And as I always say, in the moment of insight is the chance for you to take massive action. Guys, that's it for us today. Of course, if any of this resonates with you and you're actually interested in seeing how other guys have done it, we've just put together some case studies so you can just see other men just like you and how they've gone through their journey. They've gone through the agonies. They've gone into their territories and get some actual information and some learnings. Go over to thepowerfulman.com/freedom. Just go over there, check it out. Make sure you watch the video and go through and look at those case studies. You're going to see a lot of great guys that are in there that are near and dear to my heart, true powerful men. And I hope that you're able to step into that role, whatever that means for you. That's it for us today for this episode of The Powerful Man Show, and we'll see you next time.